If you love stories about forbidden love, dark secrets, and shocking twists that'll leave you speechless, hit that subscribe button right now. And here's the thing, I want to know what you would do in this situation. So after you hear this story, drop a comment and tell me, would you trust Justin? Would you run? Would you stay? Because I still don't know if I made the right choice. Also, smash that like button if you want more stories like this. Stories that'll keep you up at night. Stories that make you question everything you thought you knew about love and loyalty. All right, you ready? I'm about to tell you how my stepson destroyed my marriage, how we ended up running for our lives together, and how I discovered that the man I married had blood on his hands. But first, you need to know something. Right now, as I'm telling you this story, I still don't know if Justin saved my life or destroyed it, and neither will you. Not until the very end. This is my story. And I'm warning you right now, it doesn't end the way you think. Let's begin. I'm about to tell you how my stepson revealed a truth I wasn't ready for, how we became targets running for our lives, and how I discovered that my husband was a monster hiding behind a wedding ring. But first, you need to know something. Right now, as I'm telling you this story, I still can't tell you if Justin was telling the truth or playing me the whole time, and neither will you. Not until the very end. My name is Sandra, and in 2011, I was known as the most beautiful woman in town. That beauty should have been my greatest asset. Instead, it became my curse. Men would stop and stare, whisper to their friends, look a little too long. But none of that mattered to me. I was married to Marcus, and despite what people thought about him, despite his reputation, I loved him. I was loyal. That was something I prided myself on. Marcus wasn't exactly a legitimate businessman, if you know what I mean. He ran things in our town. The kind of things people don't talk about in polite company. The kind of things that made people look the other way when he walked past. The kind of things that got people hurt when they asked too many questions. The kind of things that got people killed. But to me, he was my husband, my protector, and I never questioned it. That was my first mistake. The day Justin walked through our door, I should have known something was wrong. Marcus's hands were shaking when he opened the door. I'd never seen him shake before, not when the police questioned him, not when rival gang members threatened him. Never. But that day, his hands trembled. "Sandra," he said, his voice tight. "This is my son, Justin." And when I looked into Justin's eyes for the first time, I felt two things simultaneously: desire and danger. He had his father's strong jaw, but softer eyes, kind eyes. When we looked at each other for the first time, my stomach did this flip. Like butterflies were trapped inside, trying to escape. And from the way he looked at me, the way his gaze lingered just a moment too long, I knew he felt it too. But there was something else in that look. Something darker. Like he was studying me, measuring me, deciding whether I would live or die. I just didn't know it yet. Marcus's son from his first marriage had been away at college for 4 years. I'd never met him before. Marcus didn't talk much about his past, about his first wife who'd passed away when Justin was just a kid. But that night, after Justin went to bed, I asked Marcus about her. He grabbed my wrist so hard it left bruises. His eyes went cold, dead. "Never ask me about her again," he hissed. "Some things are better left buried." I should have listened. 3 days after Justin arrived, I woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of whispers. I crept down the hallway and pressed my ear against Justin's door. My heart was pounding so loud I was sure he could hear it. "Yes, I'm in. He whispered to someone on the phone. Everything's going according to plan. My blood ran cold. She doesn't suspect anything, he continued. Neither does he. I held my breath. Were they talking about me? About Marcus? 6 weeks, Justin said. That's all I need. 6 weeks and it's over. What was over? What was he planning? I backed away from the door slowly, carefully, trying not to make a sound. But as I turned to leave, I saw something that made my heart stop. A shadow at the end of the hallway, just standing there, watching me. I blinked. It was gone? Had I imagined it? Or was someone else in the house? Over the next few weeks, strange things started happening. Small things at first, things I could explain away. Papers moved on Marcus's desk. Drawers left slightly open. The safe that was always locked suddenly found unlocked in the middle of the night. Then the big things started. A dark sedan appeared across the street. Always there, always watching. Tinted windows so dark I couldn't see inside. When I asked Marcus about it, his face went pale. Actually pale, like he'd seen a ghost. Stay inside, he ordered. Don't go anywhere alone. Don't trust anyone. What's going on, Marcus? Nothing you need to worry about, he said. But his hand moved to the gun he kept hidden in his jacket. That's when I knew. Whatever was happening, it was bad. Real bad. And Justin, he was perfect. Too perfect. He helped around the house, fixed things that were broken, made me breakfast, asked about my day. Always smiling, always kind, always watching me with those intense eyes. But every night I'd hear him on that phone, whispering, planning, reporting. And every night, I'd find him in places he shouldn't be. Marcus's office, the garage, the basement. What was he looking for? Or more importantly, what was he hiding? I tried to keep my distance. I really did. But God help me. I was attracted to him. Every time our hands touched, electricity shot through my body. Every time he looked at me, my breath caught. Every time he smiled, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Alive. One night, we were alone in the kitchen. Marcus was out on business. Justin was making dinner. I was watching him cook, and he looked over his shoulder at me. You're staring, he said with a small smile. I'm sorry, I stammered. I was just... It's okay, he said, turning to face me. I stare at you too. The air between us crackled with tension. He took a step closer, then another, until we were inches apart. This is wrong, I whispered. I know, he said. But he didn't move away. Neither did I. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I was falling for him. But was he falling for me? Or was I just part of whatever game he was playing? 3 months after Justin came home, everything exploded. It was 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was still in my nightgown. Marcus was making coffee. The front door exploded inward. Federal agents swarmed our house like locusts, guns drawn, shouting, chaos. Marcus Williams, you're under arrest for tax fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. I stood there frozen, unable to process what was happening. They took Marcus away in handcuffs, but as they led him past Justin, something happened that I will never forget. Marcus stopped, looked his son dead in the eyes, and smiled. Not a sad smile, not a defeated smile. A cold, terrifying smile that made my blood freeze. And he mouthed 3 words, "You're next, son." Justin's face remained perfectly calm, but I saw it, just for a second. Fear flickered in his eyes. What did that mean? What had Justin done? As the agents were leaving, the one in charge pulled me aside. "Ma'am, you might want to ask your stepson what he knows about this arrest," he said quietly. "And while you're at it, ask him what really happened to his mother." He walked away before I could respond. I turned to look at Justin. He was standing in the doorway, watching the police cars drive away. And he was smiling, the exact same smile Marcus had worn. Overnight, Justin transformed. The sweet, helpful stepson disappeared. In his place was someone else, someone colder, more calculating, more dangerous. He took over Marcus's business, all of them, legitimate and otherwise. At 22 years old, he knew exactly what to do, like he'd been preparing for this his entire life. Business partners called. He handled them. Bank accounts needed accessing. He had all the passwords. Documents needed finding. He knew exactly where they were. It was impossible. Unless he'd been planning this for months. Years even. "How do you know all this?" I asked him one night. He looked at me with those cold eyes. "I've been studying my father for a very long time, Sandra." "Why?" "Because I needed to understand him, before I destroyed him." My heart stopped. "What?" "He needed to pay for what he did," Justin said simply. "And now he is." "What did he do, Justin?" He turned away. "You're not ready to know that yet." But I was about to find out. Whether I was ready or not. 6 months after Marcus was sent away. It happened. Justin had closed a major business deal. We were celebrating with wine, laughing, talking, and then the laughter died. We were just looking at each other. The air felt thick, heavy, dangerous. "Sandra," he whispered, "I need to tell you something." "What?" "I didn't come here for my father. I came here for you." My breath caught. "What are you talking about?" He moved closer. "Everything I've done, every move I've made, it was all leading to this moment." "Justin, you're scaring me." "Good," he said. "You should be scared. Because what I'm about to do is unforgivable." And then he kissed me. His lips touched mine, and the world exploded. Every wall I'd built came crashing down. Every rule I'd lived by shattered. It was wrong. So wrong. But it felt more right than anything in my entire life. The kiss lasted only seconds before I pulled back, tears streaming down my face. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry, Sandra." But there was something in his eyes, something that looked less like regret and more like satisfaction, like he'd been waiting for this moment, planning for it. "What have you done?" I whispered. "What I had to do," he said. And then I heard it. The sound that changed everything. The sound of Marcus's office door opening downstairs. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that kiss, about Justin's words, about the look in his eyes. And then I heard it. The creak of the safe, the rustling of papers. I crept to the top of the stairs and watched. Justin was in Marcus's office, pulling out files, photographing documents. His movements were precise, professional. Like he'd done this 1,000 times. But then he pulled out something that made my blood freeze. A file folder. Old and worn. With a single word written on it in red ink. Mother. He opened it. Inside were photographs of a car accident. Twisted metal. Broken glass. And a body. But these weren't accident scene photos. These were something else. Something worse. Surveillance photos. Showing someone tampering with the car before the accident. Someone in the shadows. Someone who looked exactly like Marcus. My hand flew to my mouth to stop the scream. Justin's mother hadn't died in an accident. She'd been murdered. By Marcus. And Justin had known all along. My foot slipped on the stair. The wood creaked. Justin's head snapped up. His eyes locked on mine in the darkness. For a long moment, neither of us moved. "How long have you been standing there?" he asked quietly. "Long enough," I whispered. "Long enough to see the truth." He stood up slowly. "Then you know." "He killed her. Marcus killed your mother." "Yes." "And you came here for revenge." "Yes." I felt like I was going to be sick. "Was I part of your plan? Did you seduce me to get to him?" Justin's expression softened. "No. You were never part of the plan. You were the complication I didn't expect." "What does that mean?" "It means I was supposed to destroy my father and leave, but then I met you, and everything changed." He took a step toward me. I took a step back. "Don't come near me." "Sandra, please, let me explain." "Explain what? That you're a liar? That you used me?" "I fell in love with you," he said desperately. "That wasn't part of the plan. That was real." "How do I know you're telling the truth?" "You don't," he admitted. "But right now, you have to decide. Do you trust me, or do you run?" "Why would I trust you?" His face went pale. "Because Marcus's friends are coming, and they think you helped me. They think you're part of this." My heart stopped. "What?" "They're coming to kill us, Sandra. Both of us. Right now." "You're lying." "Am I?" And then I heard it. A sound that made my blood run cold. Car doors slamming outside. Footsteps on gravel. Multiple people. Moving fast. "They're here," Justin whispered. "We have 30 seconds. Maybe less." "This can't be happening." He grabbed my hand. "Sandra, I know you don't trust me, but if you want to live, we need to leave. Right now." "I'm not going anywhere with you." The front door exploded inward. 3 men in black masks stormed into our house, guns drawn, faces hidden. "Justin Marks," one of them growled. "Your father sends his regards." Justin pulled a gun from his waistband. "Sandra, run! Out the back! Now!" "I'm not leaving you." "You have to. They'll kill you." The first shot rang out. Glass shattered beside my head, and in that split second I had to make a choice. Trust the man who betrayed my husband, the man who might be lying about everything, or die trying to figure out the truth. Another shot. Closer this time. I could feel the bullet pass by my ear. I grabbed Justin's hand. "Let's go." We ran through the kitchen. Bullets tore through the walls behind us. We burst through the back door into the darkness, into the woods, into the unknown, into hell. Behind us, I heard shouting, more gunshots. Car engines roaring to life. They were following us. We ran deeper into the woods. Branches tore at my skin. My lungs burned. My legs screamed. But I kept running, because if I stopped, I was dead. Justin pulled me behind a tree. We pressed against the bark, trying to catch our breath. "Listen to me," he whispered urgently. "I have a car hidden 2 miles north of here. If we can reach it, we can escape." "Why should I believe you?" "'Cause I'm all you have right now." I heard footsteps. Close. Too close. "There!" someone shouted. "I see movement." Justin grabbed my hand again. "Run!" We sprinted through the darkness. My bare feet were bleeding. My nightgown was torn. But I didn't care. All I cared about was staying alive. We finally reached the car. An old sedan hidden under branches and leaves. Justin yanked the door open. "Get in." I collapsed into the passenger seat. He started the engine and we peeled out, dirt flying everywhere. In the rearview mirror, I saw headlights. 3 vehicles, all following us. "They're not going to stop," Justin said grimly. "Not until we're dead." "Why? Why do they want to kill us?" "Because I took everything from my father. His money, his power, his reputation. And now he wants revenge. By killing his own son?" He killed his own wife, Justin said. What's one more family member? The pieces started clicking together in my mind. The FBI agent said to ask you what really happened to your mother. Justin's hands tightened on the steering wheel. She found out about Marcus's business. The real business. The murders. The extortion. Everything. She was going to turn him in. So he killed her. He had someone tamper with her brakes, made it look like an accident. I was 8 years old. My heart broke for him. Justin. I spent the next 14 years gathering evidence, waiting, planning. And when I turned 18, I contacted the FBI. We made a deal. I'd give them everything they needed to put Marcus away, and they'd give me immunity. But why come back? Why put yourself in danger? Because I needed to see him fall. I needed to watch him lose everything, just like he took everything from me. A bullet shattered the back window. Glass exploded everywhere. Justin swerved. Hold on. We were on a winding mountain road now. One wrong move and we'd plunge hundreds of feet to our deaths. Behind us, the vehicles were gaining. There's something else you need to know, Justin said. What? Your marriage to Marcus. It wasn't real. My heart stopped. What are you talking about? He was still legally married to my mother when he married you. He never filed the death certificate, which means your marriage was never legitimate. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Why are you telling me this? Because you're not his wife, Sandra. You were never his wife. You're free. Tears streamed down my face. Free? We're being hunted like animals. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this. Another bullet hit the car. The tire exploded. Justin lost control. The car spun wildly, teetering on the edge of the cliff. For a moment, we hung there, suspended between life and death. Sandra, Justin said quietly, I need you to know something. In case we don't make it. Don't say that. I love you. I know you don't believe me. I know you think it was all part of the plan. But it wasn't. You were the one thing I never expected. The one thing that made me want to live instead of just seeking revenge. I looked into his eyes, and for the first time, I saw it. The truth. He wasn't lying. I love you too, I whispered. The car lurched, started sliding backward toward the cliff's edge. Jump! Justin screamed. Now! We threw ourselves out of the car just as it went over the edge. It tumbled end over end, crashing hundreds of feet below in a ball of flames. We lay on the ground, gasping for breath. The 3 vehicles screeched to a stop. 6 men got out, guns raised. We were surrounded, trapped, dead. But then something happened that neither of us expected. Police sirens, dozens of them. Red and blue lights flooded the darkness. The FBI agent from the arrest stepped out of the lead vehicle. Drop your weapons. You're surrounded. The 6 men hesitated. Then they ran. But they didn't get far. Officers tackled them to the ground. The FBI agent walked over to us. You okay, Justin? Justin nodded, still catching his breath. How did you find us? I've had a team following you for the past 6 months, ever since you told me Marcus put a hit out on you from prison. He looked at me. Ma'am, you're safe now. They're all in custody. I couldn't speak, couldn't process what was happening. What happens now? Justin asked. Now? Marcus gets another 20 years added to his sentence for attempted murder. His associates go to prison. And you two? He smiled. You two disappear. New names. New lives. Witness protection. Justin looked at me. What do you say, Sandra? Want to start over? Fresh? I thought about everything that had happened. the lies, the betrayal, the danger, the fear. But I also thought about the kiss, the way he looked at me, the way he made me feel alive. Yes, I said, let's start over. 2 years later, we live in a small town in Montana. Different names, different lives. Justin runs a construction company. I teach at the local elementary school. We're happy, normal, safe. Or so I thought. Last week, I got a letter. No return address. Just a single sentence written in handwriting I recognized immediately. Marcus's handwriting. It said, "I always wondered if she knew the truth. Now I guess I'll find out." My blood ran cold. I opened my laptop and started searching. Digging into records I'd never seen before. Marriage certificates, death certificates, police reports. And that's when I found it. Justin's mother didn't die in a car accident. She died of a gunshot wound in their home when Justin was 8 years old. And the only other person in the house that day? Justin. I heard the front door open. Justin was home from work. "Hey, honey," he called out cheerfully. "I brought dinner." I stared at the document on my screen, at the police report that had been sealed, that someone had just unsealed and sent to Marcus in prison, someone who wanted me to know the truth. Justin appeared in the doorway, smiling, perfect, loving. "Everything okay?" he asked. I looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time, I wondered, did Justin kill his mother? Did he blame Marcus for it? Was this entire thing an elaborate revenge plot built on a lie? Or was I losing my mind? "Everything's fine," I lied. "Just fine." He kissed my forehead. "Good. I love you." "I love you too." But as he walked away, I couldn't help but think, what if I fell in love with a murderer? What if the real monster wasn't Marcus? What if it was Justin all along? And what if I'd never know the truth? Because some secrets are better left buried. So, what do you think? Was Justin telling the truth? Did he kill his mother? Or was Marcus manipulating me from prison one last time? Drop your theory in the comments. I want to know what you think happened. And if this story kept you hooked, hit that like button and subscribe for more twisted tales that'll mess with your head. Because trust me, I've got more stories where this came from. Stories that'll make you question everything. See you in the next one.